Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. There are nights when the past refuses to stay buried, when the ashes of old sins still glow faintly in the dark, waiting to be disturbed, waiting to breathe again. In the Twin Cities, those embers are stirring. What once burned bright has cooled to memory, but memory has a way of catching fire. Old alliances, forgotten debts, and ghosts of the dam all smolder beneath the surface. And those who seek to uncover them may find that some flames never truly die. Hello and welcome to Vampire the Masquerade, Twin Cities by Night Embers, the fourth story in the ongoing chronicle of Twin Cities by Night, a tale of what remains when the fire fades and what's left behind to burn. So the moment the lights go off, William, you can make out some illumination coming between those cheap yellowed shades that are in the windows that are closed currently, but you can make out street lights or the illumination of maybe some cars outside driving by. A reminder, you are on the second floor, and outside your window is the walkway balcony, how you get into the room. Give me a perception and alertness roll, please. Difficulty 6.
All right, that's 5 dice. 5d10. 0 successes, unfortunately.
So she's staring at you after she says that, "I'm sorry." And you're like looking at her. Go ahead, scene's on you.
Sorry for what?
I'm sorry for. At the moment that the words start coming out of her mouth, a loud, concussive explosion sound hits you at once. It's hard to realize what it is at that moment because all your senses are completely overwhelmed by stimulation. You hear a loud, bursting, explosive sound in your ears, but at the same time, you feel you getting hit with a force, and for a second, you don't understand what it is as she falls on top of you, and the chair, this cheap hotel chair, falls over onto the carpeted floor, and you feel the weight on top of you, and you don't see anything beyond her, and you realize it's the door that had been blown off the hinges or something at that extent. There's a moment where ringing slowly starts to dissipate from your ears, and you catch, when you look to your left, a red laser, it seems, is tracing along the floor. All right, let's go ahead and do initiative. It's 1d10 plus dex plus wits. All right, cool. So I will go ahead and roll initiative, and then you will go ahead. Oh, wow. Okay. So my guys have an 11 in initiative.
William has 9.
Yep. So there's a moment where you see that red dot on the carpet, and then you see it jerk to the left towards you. All right. And I'm going to roll something here. Okay. So you see the light go. And when the ringing in your ears starts going down, you hear a sound that sounds almost like subdued whistling. You hear, and it because it's going through the wood of the door, through the body of Tanya, and I need you to soak a whopping 1 bashing, but go ahead and please do that for me.
Yep, that's a success.
All right, what are you doing at this moment?
So, shit. I guess go to ground.
Like, you're already kind of
yeah.
The issue is you have her on top of you. You're laying on your back.
Okay.
You have this door that landed on top of her and you, and they shot through the door because the laser was trying to track the sight was trying to track your movement. So they're trying to fire through the door at least to get some rounds off. You've seen that there's, at least for the initial shot that you see right there. But go ahead.
Okay. He didn't notice the attackers, right?
So, no, you can't see because this door, and you have her on top of you.
Right. So, but he knows where they shot from, probably. So
yeah, you know the direction, obviously. Yeah, you're able to piece that together.
William can try to just push her towards that direction.
Like push her off of you, kind of, and like maybe try to get
Yeah,
out from underneath.
yeah. Get out from underneath and bolt
Okay.
the other way around.
Okay. So a couple things. One, what's William's strength?
2.
Two. Okay.
He is
um,
not a fighter at
I know,
all.
and he's down to 2 blood pool points too at this moment, right?
Yeah.
So
It's super
I
bad
will,
situation to
yeah,
be
I
in.
will say that you can start like pushing her, right, to like shrimp yourself out from underneath, so you can get like your legs free and start to get your legs free. And I can say that will be an action there, right? And then we could take it from there. But with 2 strength, you just can't. I'm not gonna. And unfortunately, you have blood to pump into it, right? You're not gonna be able to like push her up in their trajectory.
Yeah, probably just like, push
Yeah.
her off of him and move on. I'll like throw her like
Yeah, for sure. Just to try
much
to get out
stronger, but
underneath. Yeah,
yeah.
so I'll say you're able to push her out and you're able to like clear your legs from underneath, and like I'll say like get up on one knee and get up off the other knee, almost ready to stand up, right? And when you do that, you're like pushing and you do that, you are able to focus in and see that there are one figure that is coming through the door, and you make out another figure behind this person. They both seem to be wearing either like a blue jeans or more of like a cargo fitted pants. And you see that they have like bandanas that are around their face. You kind of make out they have like a long sleeve shirt with like some kind of vest over it, but you can't make out too much details because currently there's like smoke still rising from whatever caused that door to kind of fly in. And you see on top of their heads, they have what looks to be some kind of helmet. You would assume you're not too spun up on the subject, but it looks to be like military grade. And you see that they have what you can only imagine to be some kind of goggles or something that are from the front of it, right? On the front, that looks like they
Mhm.
could pull down over their eyes if they wanted to. But at the moment, they don't have those drawn down, and you can make out the silhouette. And the reason why it's so hard to see exact details is because of how dark it is in there. And behind them, you have like the Motel 6 illumination from the sign, right? And you have other signs in the night, but it is making the silhouette of them. And you see the moment where they're both, one is in front and they're both, one is pulling up, and you can see that red dot come up from the door, like in your direction. And you can see another red dot coming from over the shoulder of the person who's in front. I'm going to go ahead and have them both roll here real quick. Oh, that's a failure. All right, let's do the other one. And a success on the other. Oh, geez, no damage. So, so you see as the red dot comes up, there's a moment you look and you see it go down your chest, right? It hits like your middle of your sternum, and you're like, I mean, I don't know what William would think at that moment, but you see it kind of jerks, and then you hear that same, and you feel it almost like go along the side of your dress shirt, right? The same shirt you've been wearing for like 2 days, right? And it just kind of cuts through the fabric. And when you look down and you hear another sound, it almost sounds like a whistling that goes right by your right ear. Go ahead, your turn. What are you gonna do?
Are there any escape routes that William can think
Unfortunately,
of?
no. It's just, well, there is, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to take advantage of it because they're straight ahead past these two, and then there is, you know how these Motel 6 have where their rooms are shared? Or not shared, but some rooms can be connected with the door in between, but they're both locked on both ends. And there's that. But like you said, right? William's not really a tank at this moment, and he's down to 2 blood pool points. And matter of fact, let's have you roll a self-control roll, please. Difficulty, I'll give you 3 at this time. Oh shit, he made it.
I
Cool.
did succeed, but
Yeah.
2 successes.
Yep. So those, and then you got these folks in front of you.
I'm gonna try to dread gaze the one that's nearest to me.
Okay. And go ahead and what do you need to roll for the dread gaze? Let me pull it up on my
It's
end
charisma plus intimidation, difficulty, wits plus courage
of the person.
of the target. Yeah.
6.
Holy fuck. Uh, yeah, that's 5 successes.
Holy shit. Well, yeah, that is, man. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Success indicates the victim is cowed, while failure means the target is startled but not terrified. 3 or more successes means he runs away in abject fear. Victims who have nowhere to run claw at walls, hoping to dig a way out rather than face the vampire. Each success subtracts one from the target's action dice pool's next turn.
So there's a moment where you look straight ahead, you look at the door, that like in between door, and you kind of factor out in the heat of the moment that that's not an option. You feel the beast starting to climb up through you, and you realize you're barely holding on. So as like a last ditch effort, you try to project it into the target in front of you. You reach into the most primal side of you, that this primal side that honestly has been just boiling, right, with everything that's been going on, with being hungry, with feeling cornered, with having everything pulled out from underneath you, and you channel that into almost like a rage that comes out through you. You can almost feel your face changing, if you can imagine. You don't know what you're looking like right now, and I'm not going to share that, right? But my point being is you can feel your fangs are extended. You can almost feel like your jaw cracking or crunching, like popping underneath the pressure of it all. You feel the popping happening as your jaw seems to elongate a little bit, and you scream this primal scream at the person in front of you. And you see a moment where that red light is kind of dangling in your chest, and then quickly this figure turns around and you hear, and you see the person behind him just like falls back on the ground, and he runs past that person, almost like he threw rounds in the chest of whoever this was with him to get past him out of fear of what was chasing him. And you see this figure run, and then you see the figure who falls back sits up, and you realize at that moment that that vest that he had on him probably was a plated vest that would protect from like rounds being projected at him. And there's a moment where you see that figure when he sits up and he looks at you, because they don't have these goggles that are on their helmets down. You see a moment of, like a hesitation where his mouth is agape. So what I'm going to do at this stage is I'm going to let you take another action, because I'm going to say him getting shot in the chest by whomever this was that was with him and running off, that he's in shock at this moment. So what is it that you would like to do now?
Well, and probably just fuck it, run, hope for the best.
Just run past the guy. That's funny. Yeah, I'll give it to you, man. Right. So you run past this person, and you're on the balcony, and you hear like people have came out of their rooms and they're looking up, or they're looking on the balcony. They come out of the rooms on the second floor and they're looking towards you, right? Like the doors open, they're kind of poking their heads out. And like I said, you see people in the parking lot that are looking up as you are running along this balcony. I assume going down the steps to try to, is there any like goal that you're running? Are you trying to like go to your car? Are you just trying to run
Yeah,
to
get
like,
to the car, get to the
okay.
car and get the fuck out.
So you're running down these concrete steps, right? And as you are running off the sidewalk into this graveled parking lot, right? You have to like go down a couple rows to get where your vehicle was parked at, right? And you're running through these cars. I need you to roll me a perception and alertness roll, please. Difficulty 6.
5 dice. 1 success.
There's a moment when you're running through these vehicles past like side mirrors. You're kind of bumping into a couple of them as you're getting into your BMW. And as you run up to your BMW, you kind of like searching for your keys. You pull them out. You disarm the alarm. And as you put your hand on the door to open the door, you look to your right and you see there's a car parked in another row, like the row that's like the next row closer to the hotel. And it looks like it's like a brown Oldsmobile. It's like an older vehicle from like the 80s. And you see that there are two people in that vehicle, one in the driver's and one in the passenger seat. And you see the moment where they're like, almost look like they're in shock. And you see the driver's looking at you straight in the eyes. He looks to be like a Caucasian male, has, medium length brown hair, looks run in the mill, right? And you see next to him, there's a woman. And you can't really make out too much of the woman. You just know at that point, because you could tell she has longer hair and kind of like feminine features. You would guess that she's probably Caucasian too. And he's looking at you. You see his mouth is agape for a second, like he's caught off guard. What are you doing right now?
Get in the car, get the fuck out.
So you get him to BMW, right? And you put in the key and put it in reverse and you start peeling out. And as you're peeling out, you back up, right? And then you turn the wheel to the right. And as you're looking across your passenger seat through the window, you see the guy in the car. He looks like he's stumbling almost, like he's trying to start the car. And you see the car like pulls out like kind of behind you as you peel, right? So my question I'm going to ask you right now, okay? Like I know you're getting the fuck out of there, right? And I know that's your number one goal. What's your strategy in doing this? Are you just going off of like, I'm fucking hightailing it out here. I don't care about traffic laws. I don't care. I'm just like, you're in a panic state, or do you feel like William would be somewhat controlled?
Definitely. Well, kind of. Like he's thinking, on one hand, I don't really care about the masquerade itself, right? At this point, just it's not like William can do some outwardly supernatural shit, but if
Yeah,
you bring attention to yourself, that's bad.
for sure. Especially in the
But
situation you're in right now, too,
yeah,
right? When you're hiding.
exactly.
Yeah. So
So, but it's a difficult situation to be in right now.
for sure.
So what he's gonna do is he is going to get, whatever it takes to get away. Probably fuck a couple traffic laws, but then he's not gonna go straight to the hideaway, but he's gonna try to get a new car.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. So first of all, let's have you. I know we're doing a lot of dice rolling, and this isn't usually in the nature of our game, but I feel like at this instance, I'm gonna have you roll two rolls, right? I'm gonna have you roll at
Mhm.
dexterity and drive, difficulty 7, and then I'm gonna have you roll perception and drive, difficulty 6.
All right, so I'm gonna use willpower on both of them.
Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah.
What does that bring your willpower down to, by the way, once you do that?
I believe I still have 4 left.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll both those for me, please.
Okay, so first the dex plus what was it?
Drive,
Drive.
difficulty 7.
All right, 2 successes with the willpower.
Very nice. All right. And then the next one is going to be drive and perception, difficulty 6.
And that is 3 successes with the willpower.
Very nice. All right. So I am going to do one roll here real quick, and then I will tell you. Okay. So when you peel out, right, you're shifting into like second, third, fourth, and you're just blasting through cars, right? You're blasting through traffic lights. You're going off of pure instinct at this moment. And you see at this moment in your rearview mirror, you see that the car is that brown Oldsmobile is trying to catch up to you. You see it is burning through the stop sign. It is burning through the traffic lights right along with you, but it doesn't have the scalability and speed and maneuverability that you have in your BMW, right? Your BMW is a machine that is made specifically for people like you who want to have total control over everything that they do, including the driving, including of having to be able to finesse this vehicle to do maneuvers or to act that common vehicles can't. So there's a point where you realize that this vehicle is following you. But at this one turn at the last second, you know that you're going to be able to lose it because you can bust a quick U-turn at a stoplight, burn through the stoplight, bust a U-turn, and dive into the traffic on the other end. While this clunky Oldsmobile, longer car, right, is just not able to do that. And in the rearview mirror, you see that you lost that vehicle as you're taking off, and you get back onto the highway on 35 West. Now you're in a predicament. You're still hungry. You were just in a dangerous situation that you were able to get out of. And I'm gonna have to ask you this, right? Like, what are you gonna do now, right? You're like almost like this wild animal that's barely holding it together, right? What's going on in your brain? Are you even capable of like processing what's going on, the character, or is he going off of instinct or what?
I feel like at this point he'd be running off of instinct, whatever the vampire equivalent of being high on adrenaline is, you know?
For sure,
This
the
sort
beast.
of
You're channeling the beast,
yeah.
right? You're like,
Yeah.
the beast is like really, really close to coming out right now, I would say.
For sure. Like the moment he finds, a suitable person, and I'd like to point out that Ventru almost like supernaturally know when a person is like their type.
For sure. And I would say this, right? Like two things, right? Peek behind the curtain, full transparency. If you wouldn't have done that dread gaze and had that many successes, I'd be having you roll self-control rolls right now, right? But I felt like that like a good story plot is that you channeled the beast, right? And you're able to like give it some satisfaction by doing that. But on the flip side, you have, I mean, you know where you can go to feed, right? You know that assisted living facilities for elder people. I mean, your father went to one of the best ones in the
Mm.
city, right? So I would give it to that. If you would want to go there and you want to hunt, you know, that's a route that
Yeah.
we can go at this case,
I
right?
think William would definitely prioritize that because he feels super weak right now
Yeah.
and definitely doesn't like feeling like that. Like no Ventru does, nobody does, but especially Ventru and especially William.
Yeah, for sure.
So
So the elder assisted living facility that your father was at all those years ago, right? I mean, it was over 20 years ago that your father was in one of those facilities. It's still there. It's called Autumn Grove Assisted Living. The room and board alone for an individual in there is probably 3 times the middle class mortgage payment that most people in the area pay for. It comes with a lot of amenities. It comes with a higher quality of living. And along with that comes not only highly trained staff, but numerous staff, where most people who would be put in assisted living, you know, of a lower class, you know, have to deal with subpar conditions. And we have all heard horror stories about situations like that, but that's not the case with your father. And when you decide to go there, there's multiple avenues that you can take. We potentially could just have you do the feeding role, or we could have you decide a strategy on what you want.
I think the strategy is simple. He's gonna go there, find some nurse person, doctor. He doesn't care really.
Mhm.
That seems weak-willed. Dread gaze them into submission,
Okay.
like completely. You can actually do that, like where you completely replace their will, and they're just like cowering in fear before you, and then he's just gonna eat them.
I mean, yeah, and you have so many tools in your toolbox to do that with dread gaze, the numerous powers of
No, but I
dominate.
think right now,
Yeah,
like he's channeling the beast.
yeah,
He
for
wants
sure.
to do something where he doesn't need to talk, where
Yeah.
he doesn't need to,
Ah,
command or reshape someone's memories. He just wants to brute force it. He felt very vulnerable in the moment before, so now right now he just wants to feel powerful again.
yeah,
That's my
that's
logic.
a good analogy, right? Now you're going to be whatever slammed that door open on you. You're going to be that to whomever is going to be your hapless victim. So you drive this. If you don't mind, I can narrate some of it, or you know, you can tell me
Yeah,
where I
go
would be
ahead.
correct. Because I'm almost like thinking, like you said, the beast is like really has its grip on you at this moment. So you are driving this BMW, and you and the in the you know this autumn grove assisted living. It's secluded, right? It's not in the middle of a bustling area. You have to drive through like manicured parks that are designed to resemble natural forests, right? That have cement paved roads that go through it. And along the road, there's like walking paths for the elder if they want to go on walks or guided assisted walks. And you drive through these, and your headlights are just burning through the darkness. There's a lack of illumination than where you came from that is in this area. And that the headlights piercing that is even adding to that primal feel that you have right now. Like you're this force, a force of nature that is making its way through here. And as you go through these manicured forested park areas, you come upon the front of Autumn Grove. And it has one of those circular parking areas in the front for when people are dropped off, you know, where and in the middle there's like this fountain that is has currently right now light illuminating through a pool at the bottom of the fountain that kind of gives off a wide variety of kaleidoscope like reflections, not only off of the marble of the fountain but also off of your windshield when you are driving up. And you just park, you go around and you park in the front. And this facility is made with a stucco, you know, like a tan colored stucco that you'd almost see in southwestern United States rather than the brick, like the brick that you usually see in the Twin Cities area. And there are these double glass doors that slide, like the movement center slides. So, like, you know, and this is something that you remember distinctly, right? You remember coming with your father and his paid nurses that you had taking care of him at home, right? When you realize at this stage that no longer could the care be provided, no matter how much you paid for nurses or for people to take care of him, that he needed this assistance, right? No matter how much money that he had due to the Alzheimer's that was impacting him. But you get out of your vehicle and you walk towards the light and the door slides open and there's like 5 feet and you step through and then the next set of the doors slide open and there's a front desk there and you hear like a gentle music that is playing that you really can't identify because your mind doesn't care what's playing right now. And you see that there's these almost like red leather couches that are on the left and the right for like people who are waiting. And and it's like it's this weird discombobulating moment where the new you is going there with the intent of stealing what you want. And you're also being bombarded with memories that are like 20 years old. There are the same double doors that are behind this welcome desk where you know where they take the people at. You know that there are rooms that are behind there. And you know, even behind there, there's like crash carts and emergency equipment in case someone dies, which happens all the time in these rooms. There's death that is beyond those doors. And this one person that's between you and the death that you know is sitting at this desk. And it's a nurse, and it's a middle-aged lady who has graying hair that she's given up on trying to dye the natural brunette color that she used to have. She looks like that she probably has put on 50 pounds since maybe what she looked like 20 years ago. You don't even know if she worked here 20 years ago, right? But you just see victim at this stage. And I need you to roll that roll for me. And this time you're going to have a difficulty of 4, please.
I'm gonna say he uses another willpower for this one. 4,
Holy cow.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 successes. Once the target loses enough dice that she cannot perform any action, she's so shaken and terrified that she curls up on the ground and weeps.
So you walk straight towards this desk. It's a counter desk. It's like maybe like 4.5 feet high, almost like a horseshoe shaped that normally would provide some form of symbolic protection between her and you. But when you're walking straight towards her, you feel the drive that you currently have again go through your physical form. I would almost even say that your face probably hasn't changed back from when you ran off from that hotel to the moment 20 minutes later where you're at right now. And you see she looks up for a second and you just see that her mouth opens in a silent gurgling attempt at a scream, tries to pierce through her will, but she doesn't have that will anymore. And you see tears start springing down her eyes and she falls over. And you can't see where she falls over, but you, with a wide step, walk around that horseshoe and go around to where she's at and sees her curled up in the fetal position, not even looking at you at that moment, just shaking, and you pounce on her. And I need you now to give me a self-control roll, difficulty 6 at the stage. And you cannot spend willpower, remember, on self-control.
What self-control roll? He's trying to drain her. He's just not.
Shit. Jesus Christ,
He's
man.
taking all 10 blood points.
And your humanity is already like 3 or 4, right?
That's 4, yeah.
My
well, it's kind of, it depends. I took a look at the hierarchy of sins.
Yeah.
So I think at 4, I'd still kind of have to roll because it's at 4, it's manslaughter and killing someone during a frenzy where you don't roll.
But you're purposely killing her. You're purposely killing her.
But I'm purposely killing her, so
I need to
should be a roll.
So I need you to make a conscience roll, please. Difficulty 6 before we continue on here. Oh, damn.
Intense. He feels like shit.
Dang. So, okay. You pounce on her and you sink your fangs into her. And you feel that vitae immediately splash into the back of your throat because you're not even trying to be subtle with this. You're ravaging her. You're almost at the point where you're taking multiple bites into her jugular, trying to drain as much as you can. And there's a moment where you have sated your hunger and you can hear your rational voice in your head start coming in. And you think of your mother and you think of the impact that like your father's life had on her, the impact of what has happened to you had on her, where she may be at now, where this lady's children now are going to be, and the collective weight of the helplessness right now that you feel. It's that post impulsive behavior clarity that you are starting to have now. And you realize just how fucked you are in this scenario. Because things in your mind right now, there's two options. There is this is the rest of your eternity, or something needs to change. Either you need to die or the situation needs to change.
And William do something really stupid.
What's that?
No, he obviously a conscious role succeeding it means extreme amounts of guilt and feeling bad about what you did.
I see where you're going with this. Yeah, but go
And
ahead.
William is like, I can fix this. I can fix this.
Oh shit! No way! You're not
And
gonna
he's
do it.
going to embrace her.
Oh my God. And there's a moment where you're looking down and you see these gray eyes, and the pupils are slowly pinpointing. The life is fading, and you feel these blood tears coming down your face. You're sobbing inadvertently. You don't even realize you're sobbing. And there's a moment where one of those tears falls and hits her face along her cheekbone and runs down to her mouth, and another hits the side of her face, and another. And you realize for a second, you're like, I can make this right. I can do one good thing in this moment. And as the blood starts going down her lips, you bite into your wrist and you just have this deluge of your curse that falls upon her. And there's a moment where you're not sure if it's going to work because her eyes look glazed over now, and you're staring and you're praying and you're hoping. And then you see one of her eyes of pupil starts to dilate, and you see her lip quivers. Hey, thanks for listening. Producing this podcast takes time, energy, and real cost, from hosting fees to editing and artwork. If you enjoy what we do and want to help us keep creating, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a small pledge makes a big difference in covering expenses and letting us focus on bringing you more stories, more episodes, and better quality. You can find the link in the show notes. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Also, feel free to join our Discord, which is also listed in the show notes.